Hello everybody, Maven here, and it's time for a throwback build today. We are revisiting the no backup plans. Why? Well, because this season we got a couple new shotguns that are perfect for this build that did not exist when the no backup plans came out. So it's time to revamp it. Now let me be honest for a second and tell you that you should play Strand Titan instead because that's broken right now. But the only reasons to play this build is because 1, you want to have fun, 2, you're just tired of Strand Titan because it's everywhere, 3, you prefer Void Titan, 4, you love shotguns, and 5, you love the thought of having infinite ammo because that's what this build does. So this build may be kind of niche, but it is a heavy hitter, it's a ton of fun, and it can put out some damage. So let's get to it. And remember, if you enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like, it helps out a ton, and let's break it down. Hope you enjoy. So let me just start by saying to pay attention to my shotgun ammo. Remember how I just mentioned you have infinite ammo with this build? Well, I didn't lie. Your shotguns literally create free ammo as you use them. You don't run out and you barely ever have to reload. And how is this possible? Well, both of our shotguns have the Discord perk. When you get a kill with another weapon and swap to your Discord weapon, you get the Discord buff for 7 seconds, and it makes final blows refund an ammo out of thin air directly back into your magazine. So because we have 2 Discord shotguns, we can swap back and forth between them every few seconds and essentially trade off these Discord activations and have infinite ammo for both of them. So as for our energy shotgun, we are using the deadpan delivery from the ritual table, and we are using Discord with 1-2 punch because it pairs decently well with our offensive bulwark aspect because that doubles our melee damage as long as we have a void overshield. However, after my experience with the shotgun, I would probably sacrifice assault mag in favor of a mag boosting perk, and I'd probably go a trench barrel over 1-2 punch. So keep that in mind when you're farming a god roll. There's also an argument for frenzy as well. Now as for our kinetic shotgun, which is definitely one of the main focuses of this build, it is the reprised season 23 Wristwalker from Iron Banner. This thing is so incredible, it's so good, I love it. And in the background gameplay, you mainly see me using the Wristwalker. And then I swap off to the deadpan simply just to proc Discord, and then I immediately swap back to my Wristwalker and use it a majority of the time. Not only because it shoots faster as a lightweight frame, but because it also hits a lot harder because we're pairing Discord along with Harmony. And the synergy with these 2 perks is insane. The Discord and Harmony buffs last the same amount of time, so you know you will have 100% uptime. Harmony is giving you a 20% damage buff, plus it's a kinetic weapon, so you do 15% more damage to unshielded combatants, which is most combatants in the game. And we have like 30 more RPM than the deadpan because we're using assault mag. And you should definitely go for an assault mag roll because it just helps you slay out quicker. It's just such an incredible weapon that makes deadpan look and feel like trash. But we're still using it regardless because it's an infinite ammo Discord shotgun, but also because it's arc. Now, why do we care about it being arc? Well, because we just so happen to be using the Legend of Acaras shotgun in our heavy slot, which is also arc, so we can take advantage of things like arc siphon, arc reserves, arc scavenger, and arc surge. Now don't get me wrong, I love the last man standing shotgun with subsistence in Discord or pugilist in Discord, and I have both of these rolls and they're awesome. It feels so much better than the deadpan, but I still can't deny the damage perks and the fact that it's arc despite how bad it feels. Now before we talk about the Legend of Acaras, let's read the no backup plans. You have to be on a void subclass, your shotgun damage is buffed by 35% while you have a void overshield, and rapid shotgun final blows generate an overshield. And what it means by rapid final blows is literally just a double kill, that's it, just 2 kills. And shotgun kills will refresh the overshield, and we get a bonus to shotgun reload speed and airborne effectiveness. So now let's talk about the Legend of Acaras. This thing hits like a truck and it can hold a pretty good amount of ammo. It has trench barrel, so after a punch you deal 50% more damage in your next 3 shots. Pair that with a 35% from no backup plans and another 10% from a copy of Arc Surge, and this thing actually slaps. So we are using the aspect Bastion, so standing behind behind your barricade constantly feeds you overshields. So you literally just step up to a boss, place a rally barricade in their face, and just go to town. Now, as we usually do, let's do a quick damage comparison versus Carl. So as you can see, it's a very cozy 2-tap. Even without the surge, it's still a comfortable 2-tap. It just absolutely chunks. And testing out a couple shots with the Gallarhorn, and it does not quite pick up the kill. And even 3 shots from the Cold Comfort rocket launcher does not pick up the kill. And bear in mind that with 1 reserve mod, you can hold 8 rockets, whereas with the Acaras, you can hold 17 shots. Loosely assuming 2 Acaras shots equate to 3 rockets, you can pretty much hold about 26 rockets worth of damage with your Acaras for your reserves, just for the trade-off of it being a close range weapon. Is that worth it? You be the judge. Now we need a bigger damage comparison, so let's move on to Charles, starting off with the meta Worm God Strand Titan, and we absolutely obliterate Charles in a matter of like 4 seconds. It's ridiculously strong, as you all already are aware of. And now let's move on to Acaras. We fly in, punch to counteract the knockback as we place a barricade, and now Bastion is feeding overshields to us as we constantly have the 35% no backup plans buff, and we just punch to proc trench barrel and have at it. And we managed to take him out in just 7 shots, and that was pretty much without any crits and also without a debuff. So under the right circumstances, we could probably 5-shot him. Now compared to the Worm God, I know that seemed kind of weak and slow, but here's a clip of a rocket launcher with explosive light active, just so you can see that the Acaras really does slap. It really puts the rocket damage to shame. So yes, Worm God Strand Titan is nutty, but for an actual boss encounter, you gotta start off with Navigator, then do a menu loadout swap to Tractor while also maintaining the Burning Fist buff, so you gotta pray for ads or else you'll lose that, as well as your Banner of War buff, and you're basically screwed. What I can justify about the no backup plans build is that you literally need nothing but a barricade for DPS. The worst case scenario is that you lose your surge buff, and that's just 10% damage, so you don't really care. Everything you need for damage is right there on command, so it's asking way less than the Worm God setup is, albeit with less payoff, but still good payoff compared to a lot of other DPS strats. Now let's finish breaking down the rest of the stuff in the build that I haven't went over yet. So for the rest of the fragments, we got Provision, so we get a ton of melee energy as our Vortex Grenade takes damage on a target. We got Undermining for that 15% debuff when we hit a target with the nade. We got Obscurity to go invis on finishers, which is good for your shotgun setups in certain situations. And then we got Starvation, which gives us Devour when we pick up an orb. And having Devour here is huge, because between that and the no backup plans perk refreshing our overshield on shotgun final blows, we're extremely tanky. But another great thing about Devour is that final blows grant a bit of grenade energy, and it is a 100 discipline grenade spam build. And also the offensive bulwark aspect says that our grenade recharges quicker while we have an overshield. That plus Devour makes our nades come back really quick. Now for the rest of the mod setup, other than the stuff I already went over earlier, we got both Arc and Kinetic Surge, and we're pairing that along with Time Dilation to make it last longer. And we need orbs for this, and we're making those via things like Reaper, Firepower, as well as Arc and Kinetic Siphon. And then we got Bomber on the class item for some nade energy when we place our barricade, and we got various ability-based mods on our gloves like Bolstering Detonation and Momentum Transfer. And we got melee damage resistance on the chest, and then whatever resist happens to pertain to the threat modifier. Now I will say that the glove mods are pretty flexible. You can run whatever you like, and I would also consider Absolution over Arc Scavenger, but there's definitely an argument for both of them. They're both fine options. Stat-wise, got double hundreds in Resilience and Discipline while maintaining a minimum of 3 Intellect, and dumped the rest into Strength. Now I did mess around with high Intellect, but it felt like my bubble still came back at the same pace as low Intellect, so I ended up just dumping the rest into Strength. Now on to the gameplay loop. Honestly, it's just monkey mode, shotgun and everything, but I will say that I save my shield bash for bigger targets, either to put them in shoddy range, or if they're even beefier, I can stagger and suppress them, which gives me time to place my barricade in their face and get my Acaras going. And like I mentioned before, I usually only briefly pull out the Deadpan just to proc Discord for my Wristwalker, and I mainly main the Wristwalker because it's just so much better for slaying out. But another thing I'll say is that you technically do not need a shotgun in the energy slot, because think about it, infinite ammo plus infinite ammo still equals infinite ammo. You really only need 1 infinite ammo shotgun. I just had triple shotties with this build for the consistency of the no backup plans. But you can technically run anything you want in the energy slot if you want to. Literally anything. A primary, a sniper, anything. You're just going to main the Wristwalker either way. Just make sure that whatever you use in the energy slot can easily proc Discord for your Wristwalker. So it should be something that can kill an ad relatively quickly. So just rest assured that if you need to run a champion weapon, you can easily just use that slot for it. So there you have it, a nice heavy hitting build for you. It's pretty niche, so don't expect it to carry you in like a Grandmaster or anything like that. It's just meant for fun. If you like Void Titan and you like shotguns, you like this whole infinite ammo setup, just pull this build out for fun purposes. So as always, I'll leave the dim loadout link to this build down below in the description and also in the pinned comment if you'd like to give it a try. If you got any buddies who are Titan mains, I'd appreciate if you share the video with them. I'm sure they find it enjoyable. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and drop a comment, because interacting with the video like that really helps out the algorithm and goes a long way. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing. Would love to have you here. And with that, I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.